9 years together, 3 in marriage. Our story began like a passionate symphony. Initially, we were like intertwined vines in spring, our intimacy frequent and natural. As time passed, the intensity waned, which seemed natural enough. The revelation came in early 2020 when my wife, through therapy, discovered her asexuality. Looking back, the signs were there. Though she occasionally initiated intimacy to maintain our relationship, I always declined. I couldn't accept affection born from obligation. It felt like performing in a one-person play. Last Friday's party became the catalyst. As one of the last couples remaining, the atmosphere loosened, and conversations inevitably drifted toward intimate matters. During these moments, I'd sit uncomfortably, listening to other women enthusiastically share their passionate encounters. What hurt most was watching my wife fabricate stories, as if trying to fill a void. I played along, knowing she felt ashamed of her identity. The topic turned to oral pleasure. Stories circulated around the room until the spotlight fell on my wife. She unexpectedly told the truth, admitting it had been ages since her last experience. This admission opened a floodgate of criticism directed at me, with accusations of selfishness and neglect. I endured it, hoping she'd explain, but she only quietly murmured, "It's okay." The final straw came from her confrontational friend, who demanded to know why I wouldn't pleasure my wife. Under the room's scrutiny, I gave my wife a chance to speak, but she chose silence. I simply shrugged and revealed the partial truth. We hadn't been intimate for years. Her face paled instantly. Though I hadn't explicitly mentioned her asexuality, she frantically began explaining that we were going through a rough patch. I immediately contested this excuse, as our marriage was actually stable. Finally, I chose to leave. I logged into my Uber account on her phone, giving her the choice to stay or return home. Before leaving, I stated, "I won't be your scapegoat anymore because you're ashamed of being asexual." She retreated to the bathroom while I was shown the door. Afterward, though she apologized, she felt my betrayal outweighed her concealment. Her friends bombarded me with messages, threatening to convince her to leave me. Surprisingly, some male friends showed understanding, even offering to buy me a drink. More ironically, one friend in an open relationship suggested intimacy with me, a message I immediately showed my wife. She acknowledged my difficult position, but argued these weren't my real friends, suggesting my momentary discomfort couldn't compare to her long-term anguish among significant relationships. While I understand her perspective, I disagree with this comparison.